This is the TRL Footy Show, brought to you by Power FM and Hutchison Builders, live and free from the Toowoomba Sports Club on Power TV Australia. Obie's away again, Nev Cherry's filling in, so here's Nev.
Welcome everyone to this week's Toowoomba Rugby League football show. I'm filling in for Obie this week as he's still away on his golf trip, and my fellow guests Paul Reedy and Gary Lawrence.
G'day mate, how are you? Hey, how good's this? We're going to be filling in for Obie. We've got no Obie here, so we're all going to get to have a little bit of a chat about rugby league. We're going to get to enjoy it and get to have a bit of a talk about State of Origin. But also with us is Gary Lawrence. How you going, mate?
Very good, Paul and Neville. Great to be here. Looking forward to the show.
Now look, last night's game, what a cracking game, the State of Origin. State of Origin won 2019. The Blues come up here to Queensland. Went home with the tail between their legs. The big next Greg Inglis, he's sitting down laughing about Latrell Mitchell being put in the same class as him after last night. Look, what did you take away from the game, mate?
Mate, in the first half there, even though Queensland were behind 8-0, I still think they were the better side in the first half. Like they weren't going away, and mate, just for Queensland and Queensland Rugby League, it's just a great result.
Yeah, I think when Queensland had the ball, the whole time they had their ball, they were working out of their own 10 into their 20 and trying to get a kick away from inside their own quarter, and then having to keep repelling New South Wales. They did it really, really well. They had a few tries disallowed, but geez, they stood up, didn't they, Gary?
Yeah, look, they did, and you've only got to win at the end, and they did. I thought it was a great game. That first 27, 28 minutes, you know, there was no turnover of ball, there was no drop ball, there were no penalties. I thought it was a great game in that way. I probably saw, you know, Tedesco and Cook get out at dummy half, cause a lot of problems Queensland weren't ready for. They fixed it up at half time, and in the second half minimised the risks from Cook and Tedesco. And New South Wales left defence was very ordinary. I know there were some concerns going in about Cody
Walker.
Well, Cody Walker, yeah, he didn't perform as well as he probably did, but it's a big stage to go into.
Yep.
And to be honest, he's 3 seasons into his NRL career, even though he's 28, 29 years of age. But
what about the speed?
Oh, mate, he's got speed.
No, the speed of the game.
Oh, the speed of the game was sensational. You know, and Morris on the other side for New South Wales, he outperformed Latrell Mitchell. Latrell Mitchell was found wanting by a number of players, but look, it was a great game of rugby league. The better side won, and it was disappointing to see New South Wales change room. I was disappointed. They were smiling.
Yeah,
and
happy about a loss of origin. Who was your player of the match for Queensland, mate?
Mate, I'd have to, I think Gagai, but look, it was hard to separate. It was really hard to pick a player of the match because Munster played brilliantly, Cherry Evans played brilliantly as captain. Just when you go back to like the changing of the guard for Queensland, could Queensland have handled it any better? It's just brilliantly what they've done.
Oh, look, and that's that emerging origin that they've been doing for a long time, bringing players through, giving them a little taste of the camps and all that. Yep. Look, my player of the match was Josh Papali. I thought he started off really well. Jai Arrow was brilliant. But when he come back on in the second half, Papali, he was hitting them when he was running the ball as well as in defence. I thought he was absolutely sensational. He got him going in the right direction.
He did. You're right there, Nev. But I thought, the lock forward did a great job for them.
Josh Maguire, he was outstanding. Yep.
He gave that stability that they probably were going to lack with a young side. And how good was the bench? And that's where you judge a lot of sides today.
And the talk was about the New South Wales bench going to be better than ours. And it was the opposite. The Queensland bench. It's hard when you've got to take your starting 5'8" off because he's not getting the go forward that the coach wanted. And then they brought another debutant on. And he struggled a little bit with as well. But Tedesco, who you mentioned, I thought the Fox on the wing for New South Wales was outstanding. He probably saved 3 tries, chasing them down. Yeah,
look, if you saw some of the statistics there, they were saying that, he had 30 attempts over 30 kilometres an hour. And those 30 chases, they would have been chasers. They wouldn't have been attacking opportunities.
No.
He was chasing, and if you watched him there a couple of times, that left-hand side, he drops back, Latrell goes in, Cody Walker goes in,
and they made the ground,
and then they get on the outside of him. And then they've got to come forward, and then he's got to turn. And
Will Chambers was embarrassed last year by Latrell Mitchell, so he had a lot to make up for.
Made up for it,
and I think a lot of credit must go to Kevy and his coaching staff, the Whisperer, but also I think the captain, DCE, a lot of pressure on him going into this game. Was he unwanted? Some are saying he was, some are saying no, he wasn't. It was an injury cloud and he dropped out and never had the form in club level to come back. He's come back in and, in the last game last year, they won it. and you can only be judged by what you did last game. He won that game. Then this year he's come out as a captain with Greg Inglis retiring, and he's captained that side. And if you watch what he was doing behind the scenes, he steered that side around. He was talking to them. He was encouraging them.
He had a little bit of advice from Cooper Cronk not to overplay his hand, and I think he did that superbly. But anyway, how's Origin 2 going to go? It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be in Perth. We'll have a little bit more about that. On the weekend, though, the Mustangs took on the Redcliffe Dolphins, and 16-0 at half-time the Mustangs led and got beaten 24-16. I know the team is so disappointed. They're training hard this weekend. They take on the Cutters here at Gold Park Saturday afternoon, 2 o'clock, and they're really going to have to lift to get over the top of the Cutters. But disappointed they are about their loss to the Dolphins, who they should have beat after leading 16-0 at half-time. We also had the Phillies. They had the break on the weekend, so they're back this weekend, and you'll see them this weekend. Div 1, they play West Brisbane out at Herb Steinert on Sunday afternoon at the Valleys Ground at 12:35. Div 2 are also in action. They're against the Pine Central Holy Spirit at Herb Steinert as well. 5:30 in the afternoon on Saturday. So they're playing on Saturday, Div 2, Div 1 on Sunday. Mate, should be a couple of good games, hey, Nev?
Mate, most certainly. And they get a great following up there at Herb Steinert Oval. It's just, mate, they try hard, these girls, and if you can put that attitude into a lot of fellow sides, geez, you'd have some great football sides on your hands.
Yeah, you're right, and the commitment and the skill level is sensational.
Oh, mate, and it just goes up every year.
It is.
It does, and it keeps improving.
In the local domestic competition as well, with the women's competition. You see it in school competitions now, and you've only got to see the ones that get opportunities to go and play for South Sydney or go and play for an NRL team.
And the Mustang Phillies, they won the division, didn't they, up there at... I think they won it up there, but anyway, there was a number of the Toowoomba players. Most of the team was made up of Toowoomba players, with a few along with the likes of Steph Hancock and that played really well. Hey, the Central Crows unfortunately lost the final on the weekend against South East Queensland in the men's, and they went down 20-22. They performed really well. Number of our players in that Crows team that won the 47 battalion, mate.
Mate, there were 7 in total. I think we had 8 picked, but I think a player had to pull out, but we had 7 from this district playing for the Central Crows. And mate, that's a great result to go down 20-22 against a very competitive South East Queensland division. And just, mate, football or rugby league on the downs is looking really good.
Well, a lot of them South East Queensland players, they've had plenty of taste of Intrust Super Cup, and we're doing it with our local teams, and they did really well. Also up there, the Central Coast women, they were very competitive throughout the tournament. They didn't win a game. They really pushed the parcel right there to the end. They did a really good job. They went down by only a few points in a couple of their games, but congratulations to them as well. Look, as we go to the break, let's take a look at an interview with Gundawindi's Mark Offendale after his team's narrow loss last Saturday to the Valleys Roosters.
King Hawk for TRL and QRL Media, and tonight we've witnessed an absolute whale of a game. It's probably one of the best games we've seen tonight this season, where the Valleys Roosters, the premiers, have prevailed over a gallant Gundawindi Boards side, 22 points to 18, and we're here with the captain coach Mark Offendale. How are you, Mark?
Been better after that. It was a tough loss, you know.
You put your absolute heart and soul into it, you boys, tonight.
We did, mate. After last week, we've made a few changes and we brought boys up, having a dig, and we did play as a team, and missed our kicks and a few things didn't go our way. So unfortunately, that's just how it is. Yeah.
Mate, did you get a whole host of different players this week compared to last week? Because, mate, you guys really put it to Valleys.
Yeah. No, we know what we can do, and it is just, for us, it's a little mind game. I mean, they've had 10 tough years here, and so it's getting their head around what they can actually do is a hard task in itself. But when they do, that sort of stuff happens, and we've still got a lot to work on, and we'll keep working on it and have a big second half of the year.
I know, we're sitting here interviewing you, mate. You had a whale of a game, but McIntosh and Tribe, they all had great games. Yeah,
Tribe, mate, he started the season with us, and we put him back to reserve grade for a few weeks, and he's responded really well, and he's come up, and I think he'll hold his spot there pretty well.
Mate, I reckon even though it's a loss, it's probably kick-started your season, for want of a better word, because you've really come up against a Valley side. This is their 4th win in a row, and they're top of the table.
Yeah. Mate, honestly, I think we should have beat them. We should have beat them. The tries they did score, we could have held that out. The tries we scored off shape. You know what I mean? It's very disappointing.
I think in the call, mate, we were just saying that your enthusiasm was just unbelievable tonight.
Yeah, well, that's why we picked the team we did. We know they bring enthusiasm, but they also got skill and talent, and put it all together, and that sort of stuff happens.
Yeah, not to be outdone, Dave McGrady had a great game.
He's the captain of the ship. He does everything out there. You might not see it on the sideline, but he's the one calling the shots and telling us where to go. And without him, it's a very hard day in the office.
Next week starts tonight, mate. Who are you up against?
Highfields, isn't it? Sunday. Yeah, I think so. It's another home game. We haven't had a home game for a while, so hopefully it's a nice sunny day out there and we get a big crowd and stick it to them.
Well, Warwick play Highfields tomorrow, mate. Warwick has to win to get back in that hunt for the Masson Rasmussen, so it'll be a hard as hell game. As we were speaking to Gus McCullough during the call, and he said all his players are back, so they hope they bash the crap out of each other, so they meet you going to win here next week. Yeah, we hope they bash the crap out of each other too, but we'll be ready to bash the crap out of them, I guess. Mark had a great game. You've got to hold your head up high, mate. The side here had a whale of a game. We thought we were going to win his supporters, but anyway, we were going there. But all the best for next season. Thanks, mate. Cheers. Thank you.
After the break, the bottle mart blast from the past. This is the TRL Footy Show, brought to you by Power FM and Hutchison Builders, live and free from the Toowoomba Sports Club on Power TV Australia.
Hutchies lives here. We're locals, just like you. To us, construction is really about people, not just bricks and concrete. It's people who bring our structures to life and build communities. We stick by the people who make communities. From Toowoomba Rugby League to RACQ Life Flight Rescue Service, Milne Bay Military Challenge, and the Toowoomba Tennis International, Hutchies is proud to back the people who support the region.
Is your computer driving you crazy? Is it slow or doing things you didn't expect? Well, having a computer crash or pick up a virus can be a complete nightmare for a business, so having someone local you can trust to get you up and running again is critical. The dedicated team of experts at Computer Troubleshooters Toowoomba West will put your mind at ease from the moment you walk through the door and will get your problem solved in no time, with a 100% guarantee on their work. Laptops, tablets, PCs, whatever you have, Roger and the team can fix it for you. So visit them today at 236 Bridge Street, Newtown. Can't get in to see them? No worries. Just call them on 4642 1331 and they'll come to you. Toowoomba Troubleshooters Toowoomba West on the web at www.computertroubleshooters.com.au/Toowoomba West.
Crazy Kevin on the radio.
Jamming as much variety into your day as possible.
PowerFMradio.com.au.
G'day, Kev Walters here, coach of the Mighty Maroons and brand ambassador for Toowoomba Kia. Did you know that every new Kia, including my Stinger, comes with a 7-year unlimited kilometre warranty? 7 straight years. Ha! That's equal to 21 Origin matches worth of warranty. But you don't just get the best warranty in the business, these guys are all about making winning deals for Queenslanders like you. So come down and see the team here at Toowoomba Kia, Toowoomba's new home of Australia's best 7-year warranty.
Queenslander!
Not bad.
Thanks for your company for the TRL Footy Show live from the Toowoomba Sports Club. Now it's back to Nev and the panel.
Welcome everyone back to the Toowoomba Sports Club Toowoomba Rugby League football show. It's our favourite time of the program with the bottle blast from the past. Reeds, over to you.
Yeah, how good's this? I love seeing our former players come back and hear a little bit about their career, maybe even away from Toowoomba. And joining us now, our blast from the past, David Anderson. Ando, how you going, mate?
Good, Reeds. Good to see you. Hey, Nev.
Hey,
good to see you again.
Ando is one of our mainstays at the Clydesdales throughout the 90s. He's played in 7 grand finals. He won 6 premierships for All Whites, now brothers. But he spent a number of seasons at Parramatta as well as representative sides throughout Brisbane. And now he's back in Toowoomba, mate. Ando, what have you made of the Toowoomba Rugby League competition now from when you left?
Oh, that's a good one, mate. A lot of, I suppose I only really see it from a brother's perspective. A little bit I've had to do there. It's there are a lot of young kids out there that are playing at brothers at the moment, but they're working hard, and I really they stick at their game. That's probably the big key, I reckon, at the moment. That's what I see in footy across the board is they're not staying in the game all the time. The older blokes are there, but the younger ones don't hang in for as many years now. You're not getting as many seasons out of them to get that experience then for the next generation to come through.
A lot of distractions in it, mate, like when we were all growing up and you had 3 sports to choose from, really, you know, soccer, cricket and rugby league. So you played rugby league and you enjoyed it. And once you went to a club, you sort of stayed at that club for a long time. It was your club. It become part of your family, I suppose. Blokes of our era, Ando and yours, Nev, you probably met your wife there, you know, throughout the football club as well. And you still got the best mates around. Mate, you were down at Parramatta for a while. You played a first grade game, which is fantastic, but you also captained the Parramatta reserve grade team down there, mate?
Yeah, that was great. I was fortunate enough to have a coach in Jeff Gerard, who's you know played over 300 first grade games like Jeffro, and honest as the day is long, and just you know I think he enjoyed that country boy thing that I probably brought to the game for him, and you know, part of the old saying down there was it was a bit of a death nail if you were captain of reserve grade because it meant you weren't moving up. But you know what I mean? Back when I played down there, they picked their 13 and they always picked 4 out of reserve grade or the 20s, 21s or whatever it was back then to go and sit the bench. And you know, a lot of weeks I sat and a lot of weeks I didn't get a run, but they might sit 6 blokes and you know, depending on what you needed. And you know, I played a few trial games, which I enjoyed. But
had the Super League started?
Super League had finished, like that. All had happened before. Oh well, sorry, hadn't finished. Sorry, but the big money changeovers had all happened, and everything was sort of just before that. You know, we still played Brisbane, and that were in our comp. But before that, those times that were pretty. You know, lots of money was getting thrown around before that. We had. Terry Fernley actually came to Toowoomba. He actually came and saw me at Pittsworth. We played Pittsworth at Pittsworth, and Terry saw me. We had a big chat in town here, and then I decided to sign with Parramatta. You know, I was grateful for an opportunity.
Were you a Parramatta fan before you went there?
I was a Parramatta fan as a child, so not many people probably get to live that dream out and play for the club that they. You know, and it was easy being a Parramatta fan in the early 80s, the mid-80s. Like
because they were such a good side. I don't think we've won one since the mid-80s.
No, not since 86,
we've made a few in there, and I'm a mad Parramatta fan. And I was at an auction years ago, a charity auction. I bought a Parramatta jersey.
Righto.
And I got it home, you know, and I'm going through it all, and there, written across it, David Anderson. And I was telling me kids, I went to school with this boy and played for St Mary's with him. So
I remember we used to sign gear after training. It used to be on whether it was Tuesday or Monday night, but it was always early in the week. It'd be laid out on the table, and part of it was to go through and sign. Yeah, but
so Dave, we'll come back and talk about your Toowoomba Rugby League career. Like you played juniors with a very successful age side, blokes born 1970, had blokes like Andrew Richards, Craig Teven, Damien Marks, all went off and played NRL. you went to Brisbane and played for South for a number of years.
Yeah, 2 seasons there, yeah.
2 seasons, yeah. And then you come back to Toowoomba about 89, 90, I think it was.
Yep.
And that was the first premiership you won?
90, yes.
1990, yeah. And it was the wonderful start of a great era for the All Whites Brothers Club. Can you tell me what that was like, winning a premiership with blokes like Tubby Bryant, Buckle, Barney Shireen?
Yes.
I bet you the after party was good with Tubby Bryant.
I know that. So they'd played in '89 the previous year. I was
Against
living in Toowoomba, but I was playing in Brisbane at South still down there, and I was travelling back and forwards for training and playing. So I was doing 1 session a week out at Brothers, at All Whites back then, because I wasn't doing both the fitness night in Brisbane. So I'd go out, and then, but they made it that year against Gatton and got beaten. And then so the next year, I remember being really excited, telling like my family, I'm going to play for Whites. You know, I made that decision because they were keen to keep me in Brisbane, which was good to be wanted. But I got sick of the travelling as a young bloke, and I was an apprentice mechanic, and like travelling from Westbrook to Brisbane.
A lot of travel.
Yeah, a lot of travel.
Earning no money.
Yeah, earning no money on both accounts, footy and work. But blokes like Tubby and Buck, Barney, the 3 Lindenbergs. Like they came to the club, and Chainsaw McCulloch as a coach, were really good people around, and I remember when I first came, I wasn't a lay down. Like they didn't just throw the carpet and say, here you go, you're going to first grade. I worked off the bench in the night trials, Newtown night trials.
Oh, the old night trials, weren't they good to get a start?
And it was blokes who'd been at the club for a while, they got the first crack,
So you played South that year, if I remember correctly.
South, we played in the final.
In the final, and then, as I touched on before, it was the real start of the real domination for the All Whites club in the next 10, 15 years. And mate, what do you put that down to? Because a lot of those players used to play, went to school together, played juniors together, then moved on to the All Whites club and played senior football there, which seems to go a little bit astray now.
Yeah, definitely. There was a strong connection with St Mary's and All Whites. There were players, Reed's played at Newtown, and Marksy and Richo, and a few boys played, Mickey Ty was at Newtown, and a few boys played at Valleys or Wests or whatever, but the majority
were brothers.
They played out at Whites, and that was just part and parcel, and the Christian brothers would follow All Whites because they were the patron.
It also helped that our coach was Paul Canning, who was playing
You
didn't have a club, he just put his arm around you and said you're playing for brothers.
Come over here. So can you tell us a little bit about when you played for the Clydesdales, because you're very successful, you're very passionate about playing for the Clydesdales. And who were some of your coaches and blokes you played with?
Well, the first coach I had was Billy Nunn.
Yep.
So he was great. He certainly made you earn your keep, and Billy was one of those coaches, I reckon he played his cards to his chest a lot, and you never knew, over comfortable. You never thought, I've got this spot laid down, you know what I mean? And I got to play with a bloke who, with the Clydesdales, called Graham Schultz.
Oh,
out at Pittsworth,
the hardest head in rugby league.
Yeah, but I got to know the bloke because I got to play footy with him. Yes, I was fortunate enough to get the opportunity when I played in the Clydesdales in the early days. But it was Schultzy from out at Pittsworth, and they're the types of people that you would never get to know them if you weren't in those teams. And he was an established, first grader and Toowoomba player, and had really cemented his spot as Queensland country and that.
Went to Newcastle.
Yep.
And everyone who played Schultzy knew him, and they watched out for him because he's a good footballer and he's tough.
Definitely, and so I knew, blokes that you knew growing up around and playing with, you knew, but when you come into first grade, and when I was 19, I made a Toowoomba team that played, and I forget what we were called, but Wayne Werribone was brought in from St George to play in the centres with me, and George McVeigh was in that team. And I saw a clip of George the other day, and he hasn't changed. We'd take a bus trip, he wouldn't stop talking the whole way. But you soon learnt a lot about a lot of people, and you grew up quickly. If you want to be play first grade, and if you wanted to have a good name in footy, you sort of had to do.
I've seen one of your photos there earlier, Ando, of one of your junior Clydesdale sides in there, and when you look through there, the amount of players in that side that went on to play NRL, like Andrew Richards, Marksy, Craig Teven, who played Origin as well, Gavin Whittaker, who had a good career down at the Bulldogs, yourself, going down to Parramatta. That was pretty freaky in that one age group to see all those fellas make that one Toowoomba. Even Bradley Head, who got an opportunity down at Penrith there for a little while in the undergrades.
But it was the old New South Wales tour, that one. It was the old bus trip, that team, and we'd play a few games. And look, we had good people there, like the Kuhnemans, the Tevens, the tour managers, and Alan George was our coach.
George.
Oh, not Alan, was it Graham?
Graham George.
Right? Graham George is the coach, you know what I mean? And he brought the best out in us. Like, he was old school and he was tough, but that team really bonded together, and there was no Gatton or Whites or Oakey or whoever it was. We were one team. And I still see blokes out of that team today. I run into Craig Teven quite a bit actually when I'm holidaying, but Sawley's still out at Pittsworth on the farm, and there's really good blokes that I enjoy seeing and ask about, because you spent 2 weeks on tour with them.
And it was a good tour actually.
It was a great tour.
You become a little bit of a family there, don't you? Mate, now you're back in Toowoomba. What are you doing? You're teaching still?
Teaching. I'm at Holy Name at the moment. I've had a couple of little stints around the place, but I had 8 years at Toowoomba Grammar, which was good, and I really enjoyed that boarding community with the country people. But at Holy Name, it's a little school, and they're really...
You're coaching rugby league there, mate?
No rugby league, but we're coaching some athletics. Yeah, we will soon. But I'm coaching some athletics at the moment, and for a little school, it's about creating opportunities for kids. And that's what, we got 7 little kids going off to Darling Downs in 2 weeks' time, which
family, mate. You got young fellas playing footy.
I got one little fella playing footy. I got 2 girls.
Let me guess, he's at Brothers.
He's at Brothers. He's out there.
What's his name?
He's out there, Callan.
What's
he's
the girls'
11s. The girls are Lily and Mia.
Yeah,
and Lily's year 12, and she plays a lot of touch, and Mia plays a bit of social touch and a lot of netball. So, the kids.
It's funny how they all come back to Toowoomba.
Mate, they certainly do. But Dave, you'd see the benefit of this. No matter whether you play touch football, rugby league, rugby union, netball, hockey, whatever, just the benefits of kids playing sport.
Kids playing sport, it's so important that they learn that social aspect of winning, losing, working as a team, all those little things that we probably take for granted, but it falls away if you don't play that team sport, because you can soon pick out the ones that don't.
So to win 6 premierships out of 7 grand finals, who was the one you lost against?
We lost to Oakey.
I knew that.
But
anyway,
there was a loaded question from there.
But mate, can you tell us what it was like to win 6 premierships? Like, we hear about Valleys winning 6 in a row, but mate, to win 6 premierships in any career is sensational. But to do it over such a long period of time, and like so many different sides.
Yeah, I think. Well, I'll be honest. When we won in '90. We were probably the favourites all year, because Wayne and Glenn and Colin were there, and plus we had Tubby and Buck and Barney. We had Brian Gilmester was, he would be in and out of that team, So we had some established forwards, and some
you played
really
with a few of your old schoolmates too, didn't you?
Yeah, Steve Beatross.
Oh, Steve,
Mick Tye played with you for a little while.
Mick Tye was in '95. He played in the winning Greenie final from Newtown. Probably the strongest and. It's tough, but the '95 side was such a balanced team. It was.
He's won 19 in a row.
Yeah, I think Oakey beat us at the start of the season. We were away playing for Toowoomba, a number of us, and we got beaten. But in saying that, it was a team that worked really hard. So from day one,
had a pretty good coach too, didn't he?
Had a good coach in John Dixon, and we had Lester Isa, who was our trainer, and that was '95. So. He had us in a gym training. A lot of clubs weren't doing that. We were at Mount Lofty School training in their gym.
Mate, before we finish off, who was the best player you've ever played with, you reckon? And it's hard to single out one bloke with all the great players you played with. But who was one that probably inspired you, maybe locally at Brothers?
Right.
Come on, we're nailing you down. We'll give you 2.
That's good. Probably, I'll give you, all right, the best player I played with that never played NRL would have been Mick Kennedy. Mick Kennedy made an Australian team from Toowoomba. He's the only player in that team that wasn't an NRL club. He was playing for all Whitesy.
And he was a good player too.
Mick,
Mum and Dad, lovely people.
Yeah, fantastic people. And Mick's still tied up in footy today, which is great.
Tell me about Peter Stenner.
Well, I was going to say Peter Stenner would be up there, because Peter Stenner, there was not much of Peter, and his and played a number of positions. you know, I would go with Peter Stenner. He was a good player.
And I'll tell you what, being on the opposition, mate, if Peter Stenner played, he didn't beat Paul Whites.
No.
If he didn't play, you had every chance of beating him. Because, mate, you had to be 2 metres out to score, because otherwise he'll run you down and get you, and he's just such a competitor.
And, you know, I mean, he's right up there, and Donny's another one.
Oh, yeah, Donny, yep.
Yeah, I mean, like Peter and Donny, both in the same eras, both came through their juniors together, but they're definitely two, and mate, I'm glad
both of them in there winning the inaugural Q Cup in '96. That's been our Bottle Mart blast from the past. David Anderson returning to the Toowoomba Rugby League, and great to see him back. Now we're going to go to the break, and let's hear from one of TRL's great supporters, Lizzie Adams.
Toowoomba Rugby League, and the great thing about supporting our wonderful game and getting to meet all the great people is you come across all sorts of personalities and characters, and there's one person I've found on the sideline the last 2 years who just really perplexes the hell out of me is this, mate, Lizzie Adams. Lizzie, I see you supporting Waddles. I call you the Waddles Warriors assistant coach because you're always on the other side of the field screaming directions at the players. And then I see you play Valleys. You're cheering for the other side when they're playing Valleys. I see you support Ipswich. No. I see you Zachy Miles. I see you chasing Zach around and giving him instructions on the sideline. I see you support Valleys. I see you up at the 47th Battalion. I see you support Waddles and Ipswich. Mate, you have to be the league's greatest supporter on the Downs.
Look, I love my footy. I'm coming from a family of all girls, and we have quite a few nephews and great nephews in our family, and just been good to get out there. The years we've had in Toowoomba, we've made many friends. Like today, you know, cheering our brothers on. We have a long legacy with brothers since 2005, and you know, you got young Alex McLean, who's the captain. Great little footballer, little quiet achiever. I just like to get out there and give the boys all the cheering that I can, I guess.
Well, mate, speaking of Alex McLean, he is a wonderful player and he plays for the brothers, and you're out here today supporting him, and he was a wonderful friend of a young fella, Jaden.
That's right. He's more than a wonderful friend. He was a very, very close brother of our Jaden, and you know, we're loyal families to each other, the Jam boys we call them. And, you know, see Alex to be captain brothers when I came here in 2005 when the boys played footy together. And it's a real honour for me to be still being able to cheer him on from the sideline.
Alex, what does it mean to you to have Lizzie come and support you each week?
Oh, mate, it's honestly, every time she's here, or if I haven't noticed her before we go on and play, like, you soon recognise the voice. And, yeah, honestly, I love it. And even a lot of the boys that are a bit older that have been around, like, they recognise her, they love her. Like, everyone comes over and gives her a hug. Like, she's always welcome, and it's always unreal to have her, so.
Mate, a bit of a tough day at the office today, but the makings are there for a good side for the brothers?
Yeah, mate, we still have a couple out with injuries. But, you know, the boys have put in, like, there's some excellent players and they're young players. I was just saying to Nathan, you know, if they hang around a few more years, the club's going to be an unreal spot.
Mate, we'll just get Nathan Bolly-Golden to come in. Nathan, you got a wonderful victory today against the Brothers Club, and you had your mum here cheering you on from the side. Have Waddles got what it takes this year?
I'd like to think so, Nev. Pulled up short, last year, but, you know, new year, new bunch of blokes, so hopefully we can get chocolates.
Mate, tell me this, do you ever hear her screaming from the sideline?
All the time. All the time, yeah.
Well, this is the hard bit. Does it confuse you when she starts cheering for the opposition?
No, I'm sort of used to it now. Been down here for some time, and like rugby league's a game where you have mates all on the field at different clubs, and you know, family and friends and whatever. So, regardless who she's cheering for, rugby league wins in the end, I think.
Mate, we took up a bit of a poll before the game, and to find out who is the greatest supporter of the Toowoomba Rugby League. And Lizzie, you get the chocolates, mate. And on behalf, we'd love to present you with one of these jerseys. So, well done. You want the last word, Lizzie? You always got plenty to say.
I do. And yeah, it's like Nathan said, you know, they hear me cheering from the sideline. But, you know, today was a bit of a confusion for me. I came out dressed in the neutral clothes. But he knows, you know, he's my boy and I'll always cheer him on. I had a son-in-law in the Reggies. I was cheering him on against Waddles. But all in all, I love the boys. I love the game. And as long as my feet are on this ground, I'll be cheering the boys on and giving them the best advice I can.
Beautiful words, Lizzie. Thank you. Cheers.
Coming up, Nev and the panel will review round 9. This is the TRL Footy Show, brought to you by Power FM and Hutchison Builders from the Toowoomba Sports Club on Power TV Australia.
Is your computer driving you crazy? Is it slow or doing things you didn't expect? Well, having a computer crash or pick up a virus can be a complete nightmare for a business, so having someone local you can trust to get you up and running again is critical. The dedicated team of experts at Computer Troubleshooters Toowoomba West will put your mind at ease from the moment you walk through the door and will get your problem solved in no time with a 100% guarantee on their work. Laptops, tablets, PCs, whatever you have, Roger and the team can fix it for you. So visit them today at 236 Bridge Street, Newtown. Can't get in to see them? No worries. Just call them on 4642 1331 and they'll come to you. Toowoomba Troubleshooters Toowoomba West on the web at www.computertroubleshooters.com.au/Toowoomba West.
If you've lost your income or had a change of earning capacity through no fault of your own and are struggling with debt that you can no longer handle, you probably feel a bit like this ant. If the struggle is getting you down and you feel overwhelmed, there is an answer. Central Liaison has helped thousands of people break free of the debt struggle by handling their debt for them. Freeze all interest, stop the harassing calls from the bank and start enjoying life again. Call them today on 0409 344 070 for a confidential, obligation-free chat about how Central Liaison can help you take your life back. The number again, 0409 344 070. Call them now.
On Power TV Australia, we take a frank look at computers, the internet and social media with a team of experts from around the world with Switched On IT. Learn what makes the internet tick and how to keep your kids safe online. Discover a whole new world of entertainment at www.powertvaustralia.com or download the app from the Google Play Store.
Celebrate 100 years of rugby league in Toowoomba with the TRL's exclusive radio and TV call team. Join Obi, Cookie, Nev, George and Kelvin every Saturday from 5:30pm for the Toowoomba Sports Club Match of the Day, live on powerfmradio.com.au/special events. On Sunday, the team's back with the Power FM Hutchies Match of the Round from 1:30pm on Power FM 88 Toowoomba and online at powerfmradio.com.au/special events. You can now watch the game of the week with all the action, including instant replays of every try at 8 o'clock Sunday night on Power TV Australia. Take the footy with you wherever you go by downloading the Power TV Australia app for both Power FM and Power TV Australia. Thanks for joining us for the TRL Footy Show live from the Toowoomba Sports Club. And now it's back to Nev and the panel.
Welcome everyone back to the Toowoomba Footy Show. We're going to move on to the summary of last week's games between Valleys and Gundawindi, where the Valleys Roosters got up narrowly over the Gundawindi Boars, 22-18. It was a wonderful game, Paul.
Yeah, and look, that surprised me too, because I thought Valleys, last year's premiers, and sometimes they come out, they've been a little bit hot and cold to start this this competition this year. But Gundawindi, as you told us earlier in the year, they're going to be a tough side this year, mate. And Valleys, Gundy had to travel in, and Valleys only just got over him at the death.
Mate, it was a great game, a real sort of battle of the forwards in the middle there, and mate, Gundawindi come to play and they created lots of opportunity, but they fell into the Valleys trap. The Valleys had 10 of their regular A-graders out and they get down and dirty with you, and Valleys love that when their backs are against the wall. And mate, but the Boars come home strongly and nearly got them in the end.
And mate, having someone like Mark Offendale, what sort of experience does that add to a team, Gary?
Well, it brings a lot of experience because he's played in a lot of places and he's played World Cup experience.
Yep.
And that's something that you can't buy, and played Super League. And, the squad, I've watched them play. I saw them play at Warwick a couple of weeks ago, and they were very competitive, and just a couple of poor decisions and a couple of directions that they probably need to take. And they've changed the side around a little bit since that game. Yep. But they're going to be strong, and they're a lot better than what they were last year. And they're going to challenge sides, but they're going to be right there to the end.
Yeah, they've only just missed out on the 2 points there, Gundawindi. Reserve grade, Gundy too strong, reversed the score, 22 to Valleys 16. The under-18s, mate, Valleys just keep going well in the under-18s, don't they? They beat Gundawindi 30 points to 28, a tough game. And South Burnett, how good are they going in the 18s? 29 defeated, Gatton 22. Second division, Gundy too strong, 36 over Valleys 12. Hey, Nev, this other game, Dalby 24, Oakey 20. Dalby are going really good. How good are Oakey going?
Mate, Oakey are going good, but they still have those patches where they go to sleep. And mate, they were leading that game 20-10 at one stage. And look, mate, they're home and hosed. And I couldn't believe the next day when I found out they had lost. So Mate, they are competitive for 70 minutes of every game, but Valley's competitive. Dalby's competitive for 80 minutes. And mate, I think Dalby turned up there expecting to get a loss from Oakey, and mate, they're rubbing their hands together to come away with the victory 24 to 20.
Well, they had players out in the rep side, you know, they had a number of key players out. But you're right, Nev, with Oakey, they're a great side, and Mark's got them going really, really well.
He certainly
but
has.
they switch on and switch off too many times, and at crucial times, and they've got a very aggressive centre with Stan, and you know, their 5'8" goes really well. He's big, he's got a good unload, and but if they can keep that going and build on it, they'll score a lot of wins during the year. And at home on a Saturday night, I would have expected them to win. I know I tipped Dalby, but I didn't realise that they had those players out. And when I heard they had the players out, I was ringing Obi saying, "Can I change? Can I change?" Saturday
Did he
night,
let you?
No. Saturday night at Dalby.
He should have.
At Oakey, and then I go to bed, and you know, an old man, I go to bed and it's 20 to 10.
Yeah.
And I think, well, I'm kicking stones. I've lost that 2 fixture points. And wake up next day and.
Mark Tukey was on the panel earlier this year, and he did say that. He said the problem with our side when you were talking with him was trying to get them to go the full 80 minutes in the game, and obviously that's what's happened. I think the other problem that Oakey's got is in reserve grade, Dalby 22 defeated Oakey 0, and in the 18s, Dalby 64 defeated Oakey 0, and that just shows you Dalby have the undergrades that are able to put pressure on them when they are losing those rep players, whereas I think Oakey's still trying to rebuild, need to get those other lower grades a lot more competitive. Warwick 34 defeated Highfields 10 in the A grade. The Cowboys back into the winning form, put them back themselves equal on top of the table here. Highfields, you disappointed with them so far, Nev?
Not really. Like, they've lost a lot of players, but the fellas that are turning up, the same thing with Oakey. They're competitive for 60 to 70 minutes and then they just fall away. And mate, Gus is a smart coach, and every time they play a game, you can see that they're learning. Like, they were right into this game as they were against Valleys. Up to half time, it could have went either way, but just the class of the Warwick Cowboys shone through.
Last year, they just got beaten in the preliminary final by Wattles, who went on to play Valleys in the grand final. And this year, Highfields at this midway point through the season are equal last. Gary, I wouldn't have suspected that, and I know they've lost a number of players, but they've got some good players back as well.
Well, they have, and they've picked up Jared Lee back on a regular basis. You know, I've been impressed with their front rower. I did see
Darcy, he was down at the Bulldogs for a while.
He made a big impression. I saw him play against Wattles at the beginning of the year. He got shortened up and I said, welcome to TRL, you know, they didn't shorten him up. But I saw a great game by him against the Warwick side, and he kept coming all day, you know, and worked really hard. They've got some good options, but they do lack that cohesion, a bit clunky. Maybe they'll get that at the end, but they won't make the finals at this point in time, and it's a shame because they've been so competitive. And Gus is a great coach, and you know he's had them in a position many times in the last couple of years to go to grand finals. But this year, and really, if you look at the players they had on the weekend, there's probably 3 or 4 that weren't there.
Yeah.
About what they've had in the past. Now that they've got Lee back and a couple of other guys back, but that front row.
Jared Lee will give him some direction. Darcy Mirosky will never take a backward step.
No, I'm very impressed with him.
Yeah, he's going well. Look, I agree with Nev. I think Highfields will rally in the next ensuing weeks, and you'll see them start to put some teams to the sword. Reserve grade though, Warwick 14, just over the Highfields Eagles 12. Under 18, Highfields 26 defeated Warwick 12. The under 18 team starting to go well. And in second division out there, Texas 22 defeated Warwick 16. It's been a great second division comp so far, and here they are, the table leaders. Wattles 32 defeated Brothers 12, but they didn't get it all their own way there, did they, Nev?
Most definitely, and interestingly enough, Wattles didn't kick a goal out of 8 attempts, and mate, for the first 25 minutes, Brothers stuck it to them, but the same thing, they fall in and out of games, but they stay strong for the whole game, and mate, they're on the up, Brothers. They're going to keep improving. They've got great coaching staff, all young fellas, and you can see it on their face. They're buying into what they're doing out there, and I look for them to improve in the second round and also into next year.
Yeah, I watched Brothers a few weeks ago against Warwick, and Warwick obviously equal leaders. They were out on their own then, and Brothers upset them, and they played a different style of football. I think they got some good young fellas coming through, and but Wattles, mate, how good are they going, Gary?
They're a good side, and you know they've lost a couple from last year, and they've picked up one back from last year. So look, I think that they've got the potential to go all the way through, regardless of whether they've missed a goal or not. They were still good enough to win. Without kicking a goal, they've missed their 16 points or whatever it was. But at the end of the day, they will take some beating. Valleys will be up there with them, of course. But you know, this is a great side. They've got good depth, and it's tested at the moment. They've got Jake Hargraves out with a broken wrist. They've had Joey Morris out with an MCL. Yes. They've got a number of other players that are concussions and other injuries, and they're testing their depth, but they're going really well. And I
think they have got some depth there with their reserve grade team. Wattles 28 defeated Brothers 16. In the under-18s, Brothers 24, too good for Wattles 10. And the second division, Newtown, how good are they going? 26,
You're gonna say
defeated Stanthorpe 6. But have a look at some of the players in there. They've got former NRL players in there. Yeah. And when you see Newtown play, you go out and watch the second division there for Clyde Berghofer. There is a very big crowd that gets around following the second division, particularly Newtown.
Mate, I've said this before. Those Newtown supporters, they were lost to the competition pool. They didn't go off and support another club.
No, exactly
people
right.
They stayed home on a Saturday night and watched Foxtel.
Yep.
We want them back at our local grounds. And Newtown, it's a great club, and it's wonderful they're back in our competition.
Yeah, and it was a bit of a tough win for him there last weekend. So good luck to the Newtown Lions going forward. Pittsworth 20, how good's that to see the Danes back in the winner's circle? Defeated the Southern Suburbs Tigers 6, mate. I thought Souths might prove too strong for Pittsworth.
Mate, the week before, they were world beaters. Geez, they played a good brand of football, but it just shows you no matter how smart your footballers can be, how quick, how much finesse they have, you put a good old-fashioned front rower on, which Pittsworth did in Bradley Brosnan, and mate, they'll lay the platform for you, and he's the fellow that got them home against Southern Suburbs Tigers 20-6.
And Nev, with that too, with the south side, they're a young side, and they're a work in progress. They're not going to be up every week like the young sides in the NRL, but they're a good side. They're going to get better. But I was pleased to see that Pittsworth got a win because Phil's been under the pump. They've had some big points against them, but I was talking to them in the last couple of weeks, and they're chipping away. They've had a lot of player personnel move on. And a lot of
and they're missing Yorkie at Pittsworth,
look, with his hand injury, and but he's really happy with them, and they're really going well, and they're buying in, and it's just taken a while. And injuries play a big part in country football, and when you're a small country town, and a lot of them.
They did lose a lot of personnel, which has really made it tough for them. Reserve grade, though, Souths turned the tables. 14 defeated the Pittsworth Danes 10. Under 18, this South side, they're going great guns. 30 defeated Pittsworth 24. It was a good, tough match for the Tigers there, and they're going really well in the under 18s. We'll have a look at the ladder now in A grade. Our Hutchinson Builders first grade. Wattles and Warwick both on 14. Valley's only 1 point behind on 13. Then we have Dolby on 11. The Hawks on 8. Gundawindi, Oakey, Pittsworth all on 6. And then we've got the Highfields, Souths and Brothers all on 4. So it's a pretty tight table up the top there in the Hutchinson Builders. Reserve grade, Nev, you might give us the table, eh?
Mate, Valley's, they're on 14 with Wattles as well, who are on 14. The Gundawindi Boars in reserve grade are on 12. They'll take a lot out of that. Gatner on 10 along with Warwick, and Dolby also on 10. Highfields are on 8. Souths are on 6. The Pittsworth Danes are on 4. Brothers are only on 2 with 1 win, and Oakey are yet to register a win in reserve grade.
Geez, I like the reserve grade comp. It's been very good, and some of the sides there, they'll be looking forward to the end of the year as well, though. And our under 18s, Gary?
Yeah, look, that's a great competition and very close. Souths are on 16 points. South Burnett 14, Dolby 13, Highfields 13, Valleys 11, Pittsworth 10, Gundawindi 10, Gatton 8. Warwick 8, Wattles 3, Brothers 2, Oakey on 0 at this point in time. But how close is that under 18s competition?
And it's a fantastic competition. And when South's Tigers take on South Burnett, that'll be a mouth-watering game there. Valley's going particularly good. In our second division, Newtown undefeated out on top on 10. Gatton and Gundawindi both on 8. Stanthorpe 6. Texas 4, Warwick and Valley's yet to register a win, but it's a great competition, our second division for Clyde Berghofer. And look, as we go to the break, let's look at an interview now with Warwick's Matt Grew.
For the QRL and TRL media, and we're here with the victorious coach of the Warwick Cowboys who defeated the Highfield Eagles 34 points to 10. Matty, it was a tough first half.
It was a tough first half, yeah. Highfield sort of threw everything at us in the first half, and we started the game really well, and then we sort of made a few mistakes, and we compound our mistakes with penalties and sort of give them a lot of ball inside our 40, and which is not ideal for a side like that. So,
mate, your defence kept you in the game in the first half. It was an arm wrestle until the second half was opened up by Joey.
Yeah, exactly right. Our defence was really good in the first half. I think there was one stage there where Highfield's got about, we gave him about 5 or 6 sets on us at the line, and we defended out. It ended with points, which is bound to end with points. Pressure always ends with points, but I thought our boys did a really good job in the first half, and we were very lucky to go in at 10 all at half time.
That leapfrogs you above Valleys into first place. Does this mean you're starting to think about Manson Rasmussen?
Oh, look, Manson Rasmussen, you always start to think about it at this stage of the first round, especially if you're up around the top. And look, it's going to be a bit of a tight battle to see who finishes there. We play Valleys here in a couple of weeks, and I imagine the winner of that game is going to find himself in that game. So, but we got Souths before that, so we sort of looked to that first. But yeah, Manson Rasmussen's definitely on the radar for us.
Back to today's game, our broadcast team thought that Don played well, and Tandy, isn't he a great find?
Oh, absolutely. Cody's been around here for a while, and he's played plenty of footy here, played plenty of A-grade here, and he was away for a couple of years, but he's come back this year, and he's really starting to find his form, Code. But like you said, I think Craig Don was our best today, and he was excellent.
And your forwards laid the platform in the second half by just keep on busting them up.
Yeah, exactly. We spoke about that during the week, that we were going to lay the platform early up the middle, work that middle third and dominate it, and we did at the start, and then we got on the back foot there a little bit with it, but found it again in the second half and managed to build the pressure and put points on them.
Any injury reports?
No injuries out of that game. Matty Marshall's got a bit of a twinge in his ankle, but I think he'll be right. He sort of come off in the first half, went back out there and finished the game. Mickey Bloomfield's got a bit of a twinge in his back, but I think that's just old age with Mick.
And Matt, all the best for the rest of the season.
No worries, thank you.
Up next, Never the Panel, we'll have a look at round 10. This is the TRL Footy Show, brought to you by Power FM and Hutchison Builders. We're live and free from the Toowoomba Sports Club on Power TV Australia.
Crazy Kevin on the radio.
Jamming as much variety into your day as possible.
PowerFMRadio.com.au.
Is your computer driving you crazy? Is it slow or doing things you didn't expect? Well, having a computer crash or pick up a virus can be a complete nightmare for a business, so having someone local you can trust to get you up and running again is critical. The dedicated team of experts at Computer Troubleshooters Toowoomba West will put your mind at ease from the moment you walk through the door and will get your problem solved in no time with a 100% guarantee on their work. Laptops, tablets, PCs, whatever you have, Roger and the team can fix it for you. So visit them today at 236 Bridge Street, Newtown. Can't get in to see them? No worries. Just call them on 4642 1331 and they'll come to you. Toowoomba Troubleshooters Toowoomba West on the web at www.computertroubleshooters.com.au/Toowoomba West.
Welcome back to the TRL Footy Show, live from the Toowoomba Sports Club. Here's Nev and the panel.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Toowoomba Sports Club, Toowoomba Rugby League Footy Show. And, mate, we've moved into round 10 already, and, geez, the season's going quick, Reeds.
Yeah, look, mate, it's going to be some great football again this weekend, particularly in our Hutchinson Builders A-grade competition. Saturday night, Souths, the Southern Suburbs Tigers, are taking on Warwick. 6:30 p.m, Clydeburg Office Stadium. Ben Sullivan is back from the Crows, and I hope he's made the Rangers, and he's back for the Warwick Cowboys. Who do you like this weekend?
Mate, I like Warwick. I think they've really got to step up now. They've competed really well all year, and mate, they've got their eyes on that Madsen Rasmussen final. And Benny Sullivan, you watch him go to another level.
Yeah, I think so too. I think the Warwick Cowboys, they had that little slip up there against Brothers. They're not going to let that happen again. Benny Sullivan bringing that experience back from the Crows. I think they might be a little bit too tough for the Tigers.
Yeah, look, I've taken Warwick this weekend, but this is the game that South can win. They've got
and they need to win.
And they need to win it to stay in the competition. But South, Warwick, I think they've got a couple of injuries. And, the players that have been playing 6 and 7 of recent times, I think they're going to be injured and rested. And so I think they've got 3 or 4 players that won't be playing this weekend. So that could bring them back to the field.
But
they've had some good depth there. So, Warwick should win, but South, if they're going to cause an upset, it'll be this game.
So my head tells us Warwick. My heart's talking the Tigers. So hopefully the Tigers might pull an upset there against the Cowboys. The Cowboys, though, they're going particularly well. Saturday night also, it's Ladies' Day. Ladies' night out at Dalby. So Dalby will be taking on the Gatton Hawks. This will be a very tough match. 6:30 Saturday. It's the Toowoomba Sports Club match of the day. Obi and Cookie call. Nev, you'll be out there.
Mate, I'll take Dalby, I reckon, in this one. They've got a lot of their players back from the Central Crows, and they'll be on a real high after the victory they got against Oakey last week. And Gatton have had the bye, so I'm not sure how they're going to go, so I'll tip Dalby.
Yeah, the Central Crows players back for the boys is Blake Mara, who's playing particularly well. Steve Franciscus, who had a fantastic Crows tournament the other week. Xavier Manley, he equally went as well for Dalby. Billy Jackwitz, the try-scoring whiz, he'll be back for the Hawks. Remember, it's Ladies' Day. Who are you going to go with, Gary?
I'm going with Dalby on a Saturday night at home.
Huge.
Will be a very tough assignment for Gatton. Gatton are good enough to do it, but I think at home, Dalby.
I'm going to go with the Hawks. I reckon they might upset Dalby. They'll be out there really trying to they need this win, the Hawks, to keep their season on track, don't they, Nev?
Mate, they certainly do, and that's the only reason I didn't tip them. It's just their inconsistency this year, as I think Dalby's been a little bit more consistent.
Well, I'm trying to pick a needle out of the haystack there for an upset. Sunday, we're going to see the Valleys Roosters take on Pittsworth Danes. It's out at Herb Steinhoff. Kickoff will be 2:30 p.m. We will see Nulla Budden and Corey McGrady return for the Valleys Roosters. Pittsworth had a good win, though, last week. So, Gary, they'll be ready to get into the Roosters, who only just got home over the Gundawindi team.
Yeah, look, they will be, and but I think Valleys will be too strong. Going in, they've got 2 games away from the Rasmussen. I think they won it last year, the Rasmussen, and I think they'll be favourites to win this weekend as well.
Corey McGrady will add some spark, though, for the Roosters, won't he, Nev?
Oh, most definitely. But Benny Cook, he's been my player to watch this year. Geez, 20 metres out, if he decides he's going to score a try, mate, you can't stop him. And I think he's been a real compliment to Corey McGrady. So as the season goes on, those two are just going to get better and better. Mate, I'd tip Valleys, but mate, the Pittsworth Danes, the players that are out there, they're starting to buy into what Phil Economides is doing out there. Sure, they've been touched up a few times, but the blokes who want to listen and learn and show up for him, mate, they'll certainly be competitive. And no good worrying about the players you haven't got. You can only worry about the players you do have. And mate, I think they're going to be a lot more competitive than you think, the Pittsworth Danes.
Yeah, it'll be a good game, but I think Aaron Sillytoe too played his first game last weekend for Valleys in 12 months, coming back from an ACL. So another game under his belt, I think that'll help Valleys as well.
I think Corey McGrady and Ben Cook, they'll get the Valleys Roosters over the line, but it'll be a tough game against Pittsworth. On our match of the day, the Hutchies match of the round, is going to be the Gundawindi Boars taking on the Highfields Eagles. It's out at Gilbert Oval at Gundawindi, kicking off at 2:30. Obi and Cookie will be out there with the call for Power FM, the Power TV delayed telecast of this game as well. You'll be able to see that Monday night, 7 p.m. at Power TV Australia. This will be a very good game. Highfields, who haven't been going as well this year, against Gundy, who have much improved. I'm tipping Highfields, mate. I think they'll travel out there. Gus will have them ready to go.
Mate, it's a game that they have to win if they're going to be a force in the second round. But mate, after watching Gundawindi last week, they were very unlucky not to get the victory, especially out there. They're going to come in from everywhere off the stations, and Gundawindi's a great place for rugby league, and I think I'm going to tip the home side.
Yeah, it'll be a tough game. It's hard to travel though, isn't it, Gary?
It is, from Highfields to Gundawindi, and you know, if it was a Saturday night, Gundawindi would have been specials. Sunday game, I still think Gundawindi, the way they're performing lately, they will be too strong. They'll play a very strong physical forward game, and they will outmuscle the Highfield side.
So there we go. I'm out on my own there. I'm tipping the Eagles. The boys are both on Gundawindi. To round out our round 10 round for the Hutch's Builders is going to be Oakey, the Bears versus the Brethren. It's going to be 2:30 at Trevor Mickleborough Oval at Oakey. And the Bears, they're really building a stronghold out there at their home ground, aren't they?
Mate, they certainly are, and I think it's going to be a great game. It's really the same sort of games they played with Dalby last week. It's kind of Oakey's to lose, but I've been really impressed with Brothers and those young fellas. They keep buying in. The results got to finally come, and I think this week they can get the victory over the Bears out on their home ground.
Look, last week the Bears struck a team that had a fair few out, and they probably had the opportunity to pick up 2 points. And as we said, they don't play the full 80 minutes all the time. The Bears, I'm tipping them to play 80 minutes this weekend and be too good for Brothers. Gary, who are you leaning to,
Yeah,
mate?
look, I'm going to probably go Oakey there. I think Oakey will be the stronger and the physical side. With the Brothers, they're a good young side. They're coming good, and they're going to be a very good side over the next 2 to 3 years. I don't think this game they'll get it. I think Oakey will get that by 10 points.
So don't sit at home this weekend. Take the opportunity to get out and watch some of this great rugby league at all these Toowoomba Rugby League grounds. It's fantastic sport you see out there.
There's more of the TRL Footy Show brought to you by Power FM and Hutchison Builders coming up. We're live and free from the Toowoomba Sports Club on Power TV Australia.
Hutchies lives here. We're locals, just like you. To us, construction is really about people, not just bricks and concrete. It's people who bring our structures to life and build communities. We stick by the people who make communities. From Toowoomba Rugby League to RACQ Lifelight Rescue Service, Milne Bay Military Challenge, and the Toowoomba Tennis International, Hutchies is proud to back the people who support the region.
Oz Hosting is proud to support Switched On IT in bringing practical help to Australian businesses. We're talking to literally hundreds of businesses every day about their IT services, how to make them more efficient, how to make their businesses more efficient, and how to protect their valuable data. If you'd like your IT services securely hosted right here in Australia and expertly managed, talk to Oz Hosting.
Looking for exposure for your business or event? Take your business, community event, training seminar, sports fixture, function, concert or exhibition to the world with Power TV Australia and Power FM's unique live outside simulcasts. We can turn your next local event into a worldwide sensation with stunning live pictures, interviews, graphics and live action replays for a fraction of the usual cost. From a festival or sports fixtures to a corporate or charity event, Power TV Australia and Power FM can take your message live to our local and national viewers and listeners. Invite the world to your party by contacting Barry today on 0431 390 920 or email programming@powertvaustralia.com for a quote.
Thanks for joining us for the TRL Footy Show, live from the Toowoomba Sports Club, and now it's back to Nev.
Thank you, everyone. It's been a great Toowoomba Rugby League football show, and thanks to our special guests, Dave Anderson, Gary Lawrence. Reeds, can you tell us a little bit about the Toowoomba Centenary function coming up?
Yeah, mate, the Toowoomba Rugby League this year celebrating 100 years, along with the two foundation clubs, the Valleys Roosters and the Brothers Club as well. It's on the 22nd. Make sure you get your tickets, 22nd of June. It's at Rumours. There's plenty of special guests. They're going to rename the team of the century, but very especially we have a number of those players that are actually going to be there on the night. Fellas like Frank Drake and obviously Cracker McDonald, Steve Price and the likes. Fantastic opportunity. Get your tickets. They're available now down at the Toowoomba Rugby League office. Look, we've done it this week, boys, without Obi. We've all got to have a bit of a say. Yep. I don't know if we're going to let him back, but look forward to the Obi cookie call this weekend. It's been the Toowoomba Rugby League show. Nev, Paul and Gary, thank you.
This This has been another edition of the TRL Footy Show. Thanks to our sponsors, Power FM, Hutchison Builders and Computer Troubleshooters Toowoomba West. If you're interested in advertising on Power TV or Power FM, you can contact us by phone or email. The details are on the screen. This has been a Power TV Australia production in conjunction with Power FM. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and also remember to download the Power TV Australia app from the Apple and Google Play stores. I'm Robbo, thanks for your company. We'll see you next week.